You don't scare me. The revolution didn't start because we wanted to be protected. We know the risks, and we chose to be free.
Burr exits.
You're going to find out some real interesting facts in your files on me.
What would that be?
I used to work in this building.
Don't tell the pigs anything.
Don't worry. He's concerned that you'll find out about our past. We used to be nice little boys and girls.
Burr enters.
Men are getting that info now, sir.
Then we found out we'd been getting screwed since birth by people like you. I intend on letting my hair grow to my knees to show my disgust for this war of imperialism. You think you can scare us into obedience? Obedience is a bad habit we broke when we said fuck you to the pigs in Madison, in Berkeley, in Columbia, and everywhere in this country where people are oppressed by fascism.
Sir, how long are we going to put up
I
with
want to see the report from headquarters.
it? We can't hold them too long. In fact,
I want to see the report.
Yes, sir.
Burr turns to leave.
Sam,
Excuse me, sir.
Hyland raises his head and looks straight at Burr.
I know this isn't regular, but I think we can hold them for another 10 or 15 minutes. Their hands are full downstairs.
Burr looks at Hyland, then the demonstrators, then back at Hyland.
Yes, sir.
Burr turns and walks into his office where Adel, Larman, Peterson, and Elkins wait. Burr doesn't look at them. He starts to pace back and forth.
Used to be everything was simple in this world. Everybody knew their place. Everybody knew what to do. My father had a little farm in Mississippi. If there was a problem, we all pitched right in, worked right alongside each other, and got the job done. We treated our people right. Colored too. They were like family. Now the whole world's cracking up. The hippies are cracking it up. Hell, they're specialized in it. You guys are cracking it. What the fuck was all that about anyway? Fighting in the office?
Burr shakes his head.
What's happening with you guys?
Well, sir, after you told me I was to be transferred, I went over to talk to Larman.
Elkins, Larman, and Adel look at Peterson.
And then he started...
Peterson notices their looks.
I guess it's like you said. Everyone's going a little crazy today.
Maybe even the colonel.
The demonstrators are huddled together, talking. Demonstrator F is trying to find something in her purse. Hyland watches closely. The position paper he was reading is now sitting on a desk. Demonstrator M notices Hyland is finished and tells Demonstrator,
You've read our paper.
Yes, I have.
And
I think that when the security guards come, you'll get all the publicity you came for.
we want the publicity focused on your crimes against the people of Vietnam, against the atrocities committed by your...
There's nothing focused about barging into this office.
We're here to show our solidarity with the people of Vietnam.
Burr enters with a piece of paper. He gives it to Hyland, turns and stares at Demonstrator for a few seconds as he walks back to the door.
Well, you may be a fool, but you got guts.
Sam, tell Mrs. Newley to come in here.
Yes, sir.
Burr exits.
I can't imagine you working with the Security and Exchange Commission. You must have been quite different back then.
Demonstrator walks forward to Hyland.
Not really. I was dedicated to a cause, representing just and fair treatment for ordinary people.
What happened?
Nothing happened. We had a case several years ago involving a fraudulent investment company. There was a connection to a local politician.
I see.
A lot of people got shafted by that company. A lot. We couldn't prosecute, but I did have a news conference.
You don't have to tell me what happened there. In fact, you don't have to tell me anything. It's all here. We know everything about you people. Hell, you tell us everything. While you're busy urging the world to help you expose its corruption, you leave yourselves undefended. Don't you understand? We're here to keep order, and you're in the way. We're not going to come over to your side. We know more about Vietnam than any of you armchair quarterbacks. We know how to get in, and we know how to bring the situation to a conclusion.
Will we have to go to jail?
Shut up!
I don't really want you in jail, although I have more than enough reason.
Hyland walks over to Demonstrator F.
What were those cigarettes I saw drop out of your purse
Get
before
away
made
from
of?
me!
Hyland stands watching her as she walks back a few feet. The demonstrators look at one another and huddle.
How did he know that?
Hyland smiles and walks away.
You must have seen me when I was looking for that clearance before.
Dumb! Really dumb. You should have stayed downstairs.
Listen, I'm just as dedicated to this.
Then don't dump your purse out in enemy territory.
Didn't
Shut
dump my-
up! Both of you. We've all been arrested for drugs before.
Demonstrator F pulls something out of her purse and pushes it into the hands of Demonstrator.
Here, you take it.
What the hell are you doing?
Going to jail is part of your commitment to the movement.
Demonstrator holds up the sticks of marijuana. She looks at them, then at Demonstrator, takes the sticks, and slowly returns them to her purse.
Well, why don't you just leave? You gave me the statement.
Give up now?
It doesn't make any sense to stay.
I don't want to leave yet.
Burr and Newly enter. Newly glances warily at Demonstrators.
Sir, this just came in from Baltimore.
Burr gives him a paper. Burr exits.
Martha, why don't you take off? I don't think we'll need you for the rest of the day.
Thank you, sir. It's been pretty hectic today. Not a good day for work.
Take it easy then.
Newly glances at Demonstrators. Highland starts to read paper Burr gave him.
You be careful now, sir.
I will.
Sir? What's wrong, sir?
General Bryce, he's coming to inspect our office before Mardi Gras. I'm going to have to spend the day with him.
Oh, that's too bad, sir. Well, maybe your children could come along.
Highland smiles.
No, I don't think so.
Well, it's too bad, sir.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, sir.
Newly exits. Highland approaches the Demonstrators.
If you leave the premises now, peacefully, you'll be free to go.
Just like that?
Demonstrator smiles and starts walking around the office, looking at everything from corner to corner and then out the windows.
Just like that.
Finally, he comes to rest in front of Highland. Burr enters.
I don't want to leave yet. That report doesn't tell you everything about me and my work in this building. This was my office. In fact, you're standing in front of what once was my desk. I came up here intentionally, as a sort of homecoming. I like this office. I had a good time.
Then you blew it. You tried to blow the whistle on some corrupt good old boy that most people were ready to forgive. This is New Orleans, Louisiana. All the politicians got one hand in the till and the other on some guy's shoulder. But, that's just the way they get the job done. That's the way they keep contact with the people. And, boy, you lost contact when you did your little news conference expose.
Demonstrator folds his arms tightly and looks at the floor.
I remember that whole thing. No, the papers really ate it up. TV news did specials, and still the voters returned him to office in the next election. You aren't going to stop the corruption in this town by yelling about principle and ignoring the people around you. This ain't your office anymore. They took it away from you because you lost your head and went too far. You can't just charge into City Hall or into this office or into Vietnam.
Everyone is silent. Demonstrator walks up head to head with Burr and raises his fist.
Or into Vietnam.
You gonna hit me, boy?
Demonstrator, breathing heavily, stares into Burr's eyes. After a few seconds, he lowers his fist into his other hand.
No.
But you wanna, don't you? Don't you? I can see that look in your eye.
Demonstrator looks down at the floor and walks around like he's lost.
You got a little killer in you, Peace Sniff, don't you? You feel just like everyone else.
Demonstrator grabs his head and with his eyes tightly shut, staggers haltingly towards Demonstrator M. Demonstrator opens his eyes, looks at the two others, then at Highland and Burr, then turns quickly and picks up his Stop the War sign laying on the ground.
Let's get out of here.
He turns back to look at the office, then at Burr and Highland.
When I worked here, I was dedicated to my job, and I was loyal to my superiors. But they stabbed me in the back. I didn't feel anything until the movement started.
Demonstrator starts to exit, then turns back.
I did good work here. Helped people. What do you do?
The three demonstrators exit. Burr picks up the phone.
Let them go.
Sir?
They didn't do any damage.
Yes, sir, but I think they did do some damage.
Nothing we won't get over. Major, I want you to have a meeting with the men. General Bryce is coming in to inspect the unit. He'll be here over the Mardi Gras holiday, and we'll need to have someone on duty with the office as well as in the field to accompany the general.
We'll have to issue weapons to Lyman and Adel. I hope Adel can stay off the sauce, sir.
You mean the sauce he dips crawfish in?
Oh, well, yes, sir. That's the sauce I mean.
Yeah.
Burr smiles. Highland stands staring at the floor.
So will you be accompanying General Bryce?
Yes, I will. I certainly will. We'll be spending the whole day together. Official business, of course.
Of course.
Highland walks to his office and closes the door.
Michael! Michael, where are you?
Michael appears in the back office.
You straighten up here. Line up the desks and chairs. Get everything shipshape.
Yes, sir.
Peterson slowly starts his task. Burr exits. Well, the sun is down here at the New Orleans Federal Building. Those protesting the war have gone home along with the workers who regularly inhabit this building. There were no real disturbances here today like there was in the rest of the country. There was one report of an entrance into the building by anti-war forces, but that seems to have not really developed into anything. I guess there's nothing more to report. The reporter looks around, saying nothing for a moment, then continuing. So what can be learned in the twilight hour of this Moratorium Day 1969? The reporter smiles and then becomes serious. Two forces, military and anti-military, in conflict over the war in Southeast Asia. Two different loyalties, each committed to its own vision of America, yet still tied to a common need, a need for each other's approval. That's the story of Moratorium Day. It was a day when those who had the power to run the world asked for respect and obedience for what they had given, and it was a day when those who wanted that power asked for the opportunity to use it in a way not tied to that past obedience. Michael continues to straighten the office when the upstage door, which was open slightly, swings open a bit farther by itself. Michael stops, turns and looks at it, gazing out the door for a while, but not moving. The end.